Business confidence dipped at the beginning of this year. The South African Chamber of Commerce and Industry's morale indicator declined to 120 in January from December's 121. That's been attributed to lower export volumes. Despite the month-on-month dip, Saki says the positive view of economic prospects by business still supports an improved business climate. It's added that the index has recorded its largest year-on-year improvement in January since December 2022. That's as the outcome of last year's election continued to drive optimism in the private sector. Pan-African Resources has posted a slump in half-year profit. The bullion producer's headline earnings per share declined nearly 44% during the period. It cited a decline in gold sold, and it's also pointed to opportunity cost associated with the synthetic forward transaction of $17.4 million. Pan-African's added that the final settlement in terms of that agreement will be at the end of this month. Looking ahead, the firm says it might reinstate interim dividend payments. Pan-African is planning to review its dividend policy as it expects to be materially de-geared in the next 12 to 18 months, given prevailing gold prices and with increased high-margin production. A strong showing in the UK has given Trellidor a boost. The security barrier manufacturer says that drove profit growth during its half-year and should see its headline earnings per share rise by at least 33%. Trellidor has also had an improved performance from the Taylor and NMC division during the 6 months. CAPS flagged a decline in half-year profit. The industrial group says its headline earnings per share could register a drop of up to 23% when compared to the prior period. CAPS says its earnings were negatively impacted by the ramp-up of PG Bison's new medium-density fireboard line, which took place in July. It's added that the ramp-up impact on earnings is not unusual for projects of this scale. South 32's Worsley expansion has received the green light. It secured federal environmental approval to extend the life of the facility in Australia. This project allows it to access bauxite to sustain production at Worsley Alumina, which is recognized as one of the largest alumina refineries in the world. South 32 says mining of bauxite areas near the existing operations is set to kick off in the fourth quarter, and the mine is also planning to commence the development of new mining areas. BHP's named Ross McEwan as its new chairperson. He succeeds Ken McKenzie and will take up the position at the end of next month. McEwan has been an independent non-executive director of BHP since April 2024 and has over 30 years global executive experience. Further afield, American shoppers are facing higher egg prices and purchase limits due to a tightening supply chain exacerbated by an ongoing bird flu outbreak. So far, the outbreak has infected nearly 70 people, mostly farm workers, since April. Here's more detail in this package report.
Shoppers in the U.S. are seeing egg prices soar and purchase limits imposed due to a bird flu outbreak affecting supply. Stores like Trader Joe's now limit egg purchases to only 1 dozen per customer. And it's all another blow for consumers after years of rising prices. This shopper was unhappy, but trying to be understanding.
I saw one store, Trader Joe's, that limited it to 1 dozen, but their prices were cheaper than a lot of other places. Their price, I happened to look, theirs was $4.99, and I think Walmart's was $6 something. So I understand why they're doing it. I do understand. I'm not happy about it, but I do understand.
So far, the bird flu outbreak in the U.S. has infected nearly 70 people, mostly farm workers, since April. The H5N1 virus has also raised egg prices by killing millions of hens. Supply chain expert Matt Sutton-Vermeulen from consulting firm Kearney explains.
The price of eggs has gone up because of the supply-demand relationship. It's a highly inelastic commodity, which means it doesn't, the demand for it doesn't move when the supply is tightened, and so the price moves up, unfortunately, with it.
Authorities have also found a second strain of bird flu in dairy cattle, ramping up concerns about its spread. Experts are also worried that the virus no longer seems connected to the movement of wild birds.
Typically in the past, in the historical view of the virus, we've seen it stop when we've seen it peak and fall around the migratory flights. But we are not seeing that anymore. We are seeing a more prevalent disease state.
Last week, regulators closed poultry markets in New York City and some neighboring counties in a bid to stop the spread of the disease.